The year was 2014 and I still had not seen Good Will Hunting. I know. It was released in 1997. But yeah, there I was at the Introduction to Compassion Focused Therapy workshop presented by Professor Paul Gilbert. And he started playing a clip from the movie. What's this got to do with compassion and self-compassion? Well, compassion is first and foremost about trying to not blame or shame ourselves or others for the suffering we all experience. So let's set the scene. Sean Maguire, the psychologist played by Robin Williams, is speaking with Will Hunting, played by Matt Damon. They're standing in Sean's office and Sean is holding Will's personal file. They're discussing Will's childhood abuse at the hands of his foster father. At some point, Sean says, "Hey Will, I don't know a lot, but you see this? All this shit. It's not your fault." Will kind of fobs it off. "Yeah, I know that," he says. But Sean persists. "Look at me, son. It's not your fault." "I know," says Will, starting to look very dubious. The conversation continues, with Sean repeating, "It's not your fault." And Will going through all sorts of emotions. From dubious, he moves to anger. From anger, he moves to rage and violence, pushing Sean away. And finally, from rage to grief and despair. By the end, Will is in tears and embraces Sean, sobbing, crying out, oh God, I'm so sorry." This is so important in compassion and especially self-compassion. We can feel such shame about ourselves and we can take all the blame for what's happened in our lives, all of our suffering. But it's not our fault. We have tricky brains that were designed for us. And we're shaped by life experiences, especially the experiences we had being cared for or not cared for. And none of this is our fault. We didn't get a choice as a child, but even as an adult. Many of our choices now are still influenced by experiences tracing all the way back. Good Will Hunting and the exquisite performances of Robin Williams and Matt Damon reminds us that our suffering is not our fault. We de-shame and de-blame ourselves for our own suffering. Then we are truly able to work out what we can do that will be helpful so we may suffer less.